I'm involved in the Orange Crop Swap here in Orange, New South Wales. It's a small group of people that catch up every month or so and swap excess produce from your garden or from your kitchen. I guess we're trying to build community and reduce food waste. Orange Crop Swap started a bit more than 2 years ago now, and friend Cecilie and I talked about starting it because we were both relatively new to Orange and wanted to meet some more like-minded people who had similar interests in gardening and sustainability and preserving. So we looked at some examples from other parts of the world and started up Orange Crop Swap. At Orange Crop Swap is always really friendly, and we get quite a relatively broad range of people that come along. We've always got like a group of regulars who come pretty often, and then we often have new people come. So this weekend I think we had 4 or 5 new groups of people that came along, which was really lovely. And it's just so nice to have that time to look at what everyone else is growing or making and talk about different things that everyone's doing. So someone might bring a herb that you've never seen before, or have made some kind of preserve that you have no idea how to do. I guess those little conversations like that, sharing knowledge and information and skills, is a really important part of it for me. And yeah, I think those links it's really nice to see those links that go through the year, so it's not always only in summer when everyone's got tomatoes and zucchinis and cucumbers coming out their ears, but you know, looking at those other things through the year, like when you go through the winter and even the springtime when there's not, you know, that early part of spring where there's not much growing. There's some regular things that turn up at Crop Swap. Everyone's got the same things at the same time, like tomatoes or zucchinis. But I think pretty early on in one of our first swaps we had someone bring along yabbies that they'd caught in their dam, and that was pretty exciting for well, for me, but also for for all the kids that were there that weekend. They were watching them and like trying to negotiate like who took what yabby and which bucket they ended up in. We get things like manure and compost brought along. Sometimes we've had cafes bring their excess or their like wasted coffee grounds that they don't use anymore for people to add to their compost or turn into body scrubs or whatever. So yeah, some of the special things that we've had. I think what I've learnt from being involved in Crop Swap is that everyone's got something different to contribute, and it doesn't matter how big or how small that is. And also that there is a lot of interest in growing and making at home, and it doesn't matter how big or how small that practice is. We have people who turn up with just parsley and still go home with, you know, some delicious things, and you know, it might be beyond some people, you know, just in terms of not having a garden or the kind of job that they do to, you know, live that domestic bliss dream of having the full garden and spending every day in the kitchen doing whatever. Or it might not be interesting to everyone, but you know, there's a lot of interest in participating in something community, even if it's just bringing together people for half an hour, one Saturday a month. You know, we've seen growing in Orange, so I think it'll continue to grow. The most valuable part of Crop Swap happening is meeting other people who do or who are interested in I guess this same general sphere of sustainability, growing, making, doing. Yeah, and building that across parts of the community that aren't all homogenous. So I think that sharing of skills and knowledge is really important as well. It's like not just what you go home with and then what you can make for dinner that night, but for me it's, you know, for next time I have too many carrots, I know this other way to do something with them because someone at Crop Swap told me like a couple of months ago. So I think that is pretty valuable. For people who are interested in starting up a crop swap in their town, I'd have a look first on the internet to see if there's any already existing, because I think there are often more than people think that there are. I think there's lots of similar initiatives that might not look exactly the same but are pretty similar. But if you don't have anything, then yeah, I think it's a really fun thing to do. We only do it one day a month, so it doesn't have to be super intensive on your time and resources. Social media has been a big part for our crop swap that Cecilie runs, and that's been pretty key on building the audience for it. But we've tried to use some ways that don't involve social media as well, because not everyone is on Facebook. So yeah, I think that would be my message. That would be delightful.